well-made carriage, the carriage part itself. And I just got a story in my head of a 17-year-old mill girl who solved the mystery of the arson of the Great Fire. Now, historically, it wasn't arson.
Oh, I wondered about that.
Historically, it wasn't arson. But I'm writing fiction, so. And John Greenleaf Whittier was alive at the time. He worshipped in the meeting house where I go on Sunday mornings. It was built in 1850. He was on the building committee. He lived down the street. So I put him as a secondary character in the story. And Barb and her fellow editors published it in a Level Best anthology. Stone Cold.
Stone Cold.
Yeah, the story was called Breaking the Silence. And the characters didn't want to go away, and that setting did not want to go out of my head. So I sent the short story to my editor at Kensington. I said, I want to write a series about this setting and everything. He said, I don't think a 17-year-old mill girl's going to carry a series. So I created her 24-year-old independent midwife, Aunt Rose, her aunt, as you say here. And I wrote a proposal for a 3-book series, and my editor at Kensington said, I'm declining. So I told, we have the same agent. I said, I really, really want to write this series. He said, well, why don't you write the first book, and we'll see what we can do with it. So somehow, in between, by then I had quit my day job, so I was a full-time fiction writer. That helped. I managed to write the first book. And the family lives in my house, which was built in 1880 for the mill workers, just a block from downtown Amesbury. And I was never a historian. I have a background in linguistics and whatever, but I love researching the history of town and looking at the buildings that are there now, that were there then, and imagining my characters walking around, and I just love it. So I finished the first book, and I wrote the proposal again, and we sold it to Midnight Ink in a 3-book series. Also Ray Daniels, editor, publisher. Yeah,
Midnight Ink.
Midnight Ink. So yeah. It's a great mid-sized press in Minnesota. And the second book is turned in. I'll start writing the third book in a month or so, and hope that there's even more. So in Fogged In, Barb, the book opens with a bunch of people in the restaurant that Julia and
her boyfriend,
I was trying to come up with his name, but Chris, right, are running. And Barb, you gradually reveal, it's gradual, that all these people have a connection in the past, and like way in the past, 30, 40 years ago. And I just love how that gradually the layers come off, and then, until Julia figures things out.